Do you believe a house can have a will of its own? That it can choose who enters and never lets them leave? At the end of a forgotten road stands a cursed house. No one has lived there for decades, but sometimes a figure appears in the upstairs window. This is the story of Marta, an architect who didn't believe in ghosts. She thought it was just another abandoned property, but what she found inside defies the understanding of both the living and the dead. Double asterisk. They say every small town has its secrets. In Pedra Branca village, that secret had an address, number 113 on Cedar Road, an old house covered in dry vines and broken tiles where no one dared to enter. Children would run past it, crossing their fingers behind their backs as if the gesture alone could ward off evil. But evil wasn't so easily dismissed. Marta, a newly graduated architect, didn't believe in such stories. When she inherited the house from a great aunt she barely knew, she saw the perfect opportunity to restore it and sell it for a good price. She arrived one cloudy, late afternoon, carrying her suitcases and a clipboard full of ideas. The door creaked open. The air was heavy, as if it hadn't been breathed in for decades. The wooden floor moaned with every step, as though it resented her presence. In the living room, furniture covered with white sheets looked like slumbering ghosts. The house felt frozen in time. On the first night, the silence was broken by footsteps upstairs. Marta got up, frightened, but upon checking, found nothing. She convinced herself it was just the old structure settling. On the second night, she found the basement door slightly ajar. She was certain she had locked it. When she went down with a flashlight, she found symbols etched into the walls and melted candles on the floor. Teenagers messing around, she thought. She cleaned it up and went back to sleep, with one eye open. On the third night, she dreamed of a woman standing at the foot of her bed. The woman wore old-fashioned clothes and had completely black eyes. In the dream, she said, "This house is mine. You shouldn't be here." Frightened, Marta began to dig into the house's history. At the town registry, the clerk hesitated when she mentioned the address. That house belonged to the Salazar family. They all died there. Strange fire, they said. But the body of the youngest daughter, Clarissa, was never found. Marta returned to the house with a chill crawling down her spine. The more she researched, the darker things became. Old reports spoke of occult rituals, screams in the middle of the night, and even people disappearing after entering the property. She decided to leave, but the night before her planned departure, the house didn't let her. The doors locked by themselves. Her phone stopped working, and the woman from her dream appeared again, this time while Marta was awake. Clarissa. Clarissa floated through the house, her feet never touching the floor. Her hair swayed as if underwater and her mouth muttered words in a language Marta didn't understand. She tried to run, but the house seemed to shift its halls, confuse her, trap her. In the basement, Clarissa revealed the truth. An old mirror hidden behind a false wall. It was a portal. A symbol glowed red on the glass, like a living heart. Clarissa pointed to it and whispered, "Abandon the reflection." Marta, drawn by an invisible force, touched the mirror and was pulled in. She awoke in the same place, but something was different. The air was darker, heavier. The house was inverted, objects floated and whispered. Echoes of ancient voices repeated her own thoughts. And in the mirror, Marta saw her reflection, trapped on the other side, banging on the glass, begging for freedom. Clarissa was now alive, wearing Marta's body, walking around town with the smile of someone finally free. Marta, on the other hand, was trapped in the house, not as its owner, as part of it. They say sometimes you can see a woman in the second-floor window of house 113 staring out. She doesn't blink. She doesn't smile. She just watches. Some swear it's just an old doll left behind. Others say her eyes follow you as you pass. No one enters the house anymore, and those who get too close hear a weak voice from the other side of the mirror, whispering, "Let me out."